Hello. Okay, I'm the first one. I'm talking about climate change and agriculture. So, everybody knows what agriculture is, about food and all that. So, why is agriculture significant for us? There are a lot of reasons, but of course, because if agriculture is not stable, the food that we're eating cannot be secure. So there'll be some problems with food security, and we can't survive without food. So agriculture is really, really important, and climate change is right now currently affecting this agriculture. Some impact of climate change on agriculture. First of all, weather is impacting agriculture a lot because despite technical advances such as improved varieties, genetically modified organisms, and irrigation systems, weather is still a key factor in agriculture productivity, as well as soil properties and natural communities. So the effect of weather is still really, really severe in agriculture, even though the world is advanced and all that right now, but still we depend on weather a lot, and the temperature also affects agriculture a lot. The effect of climate on agriculture is related to variabilities in local climates rather than in global climate patterns. So the Earth's average surface temperature has increased like 0.83 Celsius since 1980. So the temperature is changing a lot, and that is affecting agriculture. Yeah. So some parts of climate change impacting agriculture again is, first of all, agriculture trade. It impacts it a lot because agriculture trade right now, recent year, has developed a lot. And now provides significant amounts of food on a national level to import major countries, as well as comfortable income to exporting ones. But we all know that even though when they're doing agriculture trade, people sometimes neglect the temperature difference or the climate difference between countries and just import stuff and export stuff, and that is making some issues in agriculture trade. So the climate really influences agriculture trade. And secondly, reduction in crop yields. Basically, productivity of crops. Productivity is talking about the quantity and quality of crops. There's a study published by Science. There's this study called Science, and I quote them. They say, Southern Africa could lose more than 30% of its main crop, maize, by 2013. In South Asia, the losses of regional staples such as rice, millet, and maize could be top 10%. Yeah, that's what they say. So there's going to be a big reduction in crop yields, which is not good for the humanity. So climate change induced by increasing greenhouse gas also is likely to affect crops differently than from region to region. And as we all know, there's a poverty impact because of climate change. Researchers at the Overseas Development Institute have investigated the potential impacts climate change could have on agriculture and how this affects attempts at alleviating poverty in the developing world. They argue that the effects from moderate climate change are likely to be mixed from developing countries. However, the vulnerability of the poor in developing countries to short-term impacts from climate change, notably the increased frequency and severe adverse weather events, is likely to have a negative impact. So there's going to be more people who doesn't have enough food to eat and all that kind of stuff. So it affects the crop growth cycle. What a crop growth cycle is, there's this cycle based on the temperature, how the crop grows and all that, but because the climate is changing, that cycle is also changing, which makes the cycle uneven and all that. So this could affect negatively on the productivity of the crop cycle. So what should we do about it? We should start from ourselves, as we all know. Reducing electricity usage, use transportation, public transportation, recycle, and all that. So my conclusion is, if there's no agriculture, there's no food. No food, no survival. Thank you.
With the growth of oil demand, more and more oil field have been pumped, and the price of the world crude oil grows every year. Even if there are huge oil fields and wells in the earth, the average rate of field decline is 4.5% yearly. So peak oil is quite a concerning problem. But what is peak oil, and what's the relationship between peak oil and climate change? Peak oil is the point in time when the maximum rate of the petroleum extraction is reached, after which the rate of production is expected to enter the terminal decline. This is the definition of peak oil, and it was originally suggested by Mr. King Hubbard, who created and first used the models behind peak oil to predict the United States oil production would peak between 1965 and 1971. This is his logistic model, and it has also proved useful in other limited resource production domains. As we know, there is one day that non-renewable resource could be used up. So these resource productions would peak someday in the future. Actually, oil production peaked far earlier than the oil depletion. When the Mr. Hubbard first came up to predict, many academics questioned him. However, with the theorem has been proved, more and more people support it. By learning a lot of knowledge about it, I'm also for this point. Some people may say, it's none of my business. I don't own a car, that I don't need oil. It's certainly wrong. It can say that we are living depending on oil. The majority of petroleum is converted to petroleum products, which includes several classes of fuels, and refiners also produce other chemicals, some of which are used in chemical processes to produce some plastics and other chemical and other materials. Besides, agriculture is also closely related to oil. And I must point out that most machines require oil to run. That means oil provide power to our life. I know that the development of science and technology is accelerating. However, it seems impossible to invent or find a product to replace oil totally in a short period. And as the graph shows, economic growth is related to the energy consumption. Nowadays, more and more organizations have been set up in order to research on the peak oil, and ASPO, Association for the Study of Peak Oil and Gas, is the biggest one among these. More powerful than other armies in the world is an idea whose time has come. This words comes from Professor Euclid's new book, who's the president of ASPO. Peak oil is not only effect on economic and politics, but also influence climate a lot. This picture shows the carbon cycle. Sorry, I only find Chinese. Which forms the nature balance while using fossil fuel. The carbon from further put out into atmosphere. More fossil fuel used, more carbon, more CO2 put out, and this is a key factor that lead to climate change. Facing climate change, some measures have been taken. For example, climate engineering, solar energy, nuclear energy, low carbon lifestyle, and so on. But while facing the peak oil, human beings try to find replace fuel oil and even explode fuel in the Antarctic. Climate disaster and wars over results couldn't be avoided. Only if some countries reduce oil dependence. Combating climate change, we can use nuclear energy or other wind energy to relieve global warming. But while facing the peak oil and the climate change at the same time, we have to find a way which is lower consumption and adjust to the economic structure in order to prevent future triangles. Thank you. That's all.